All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another weekly wisdom call. My name is Alexander Hamilton Dunlop, and we're starting this one a little bit past the start time that we would normally start. By we, I mean the royal we, that I would normally start it. And apropos of the card of the week, things not going according to plan. We were riding the bus back from upstate New York this morning, and it said it was due in an hour ago, and it was about 45 minutes delayed, which delayed the start of this call. And that, I have found, often happens when the King of Hearts is present. That's the card of the week. It's the Jolly Red Man, this guy. And this being the card of the week, it's an emotional week and not mentally, let's say, finely calibrated. There can be some emotional upsets and upheavals that require attention, that require your emotional intelligence when this one is present. And one of the things that will test your emotional intelligence, perhaps more so than anything else, is when things don't go according to plan. What do you do? Do you get enraged? Do you get frustrated? Or do you respond with emotional intelligence? So this is going to be in play this week. And what we're talking about, here's my deck of cards here. We're talking about the ancient book of life that was hidden in plain sight, masquerading as a deck of playing cards, actually an ancient unbound book of sacred geometry, that we can read the cycles of our life, the cycles of time. 52 cards, there are 52 weeks. So this cycle of time, each 7 days, is represented by a symbolic pattern. And this week is the King of Hearts. So, how do you play your life with the patterning of the King of Hearts present? You know, if it's raining outside, do you get an umbrella? If it's really sunny, do you put on sunblock? What do you do when the King of Hearts is the energy that's present in the collective field? Well, what's happening is a test of the heart, as I shared already. Something that will challenge your emotional intelligence. Something that will push against you and require of you an emotional response. Something in your field that doesn't go as you want it to go, and you have the authority to decide how it will go. I'll say that again. Something happens that doesn't go the way you want it to go, and you have the authority to decide how you will respond, how you will adjust and make it go the way that you want it to go, even though it didn't go the way you want it to go. It's kind of a paradox, I guess. Another way of saying that is you get to choose how you respond. You get to choose your emotional response to any given situation, which, if you stop to notice, determines how that situation plays out, how it unfolds for you. I'll give you an example. It just happened. We were riding the bus back, Vicky and I. We were visiting friends in upstate New York in Woodstock. Lovely weekend. And we're coming back this morning, and the bus, instead of being an express bus, is a local bus. And so instead of it putting me back here to do this video for you at a nice early time, it was an hour longer than I had anticipated. So that's happening, and then I get to choose my response. If I'm going to let that irritate me or infuriate me or make me worry or get upset that I'm going to start this call late. Or I can choose to sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, a little extra snuggle time with my lovely Vicky, just watching the scenery roll by, just some extra time to tune in, snooze, meditate, that kind of thing. That's my choice of how I choose to respond to the situation. Notice that the King of Hearts has the sword raised. He's famously the suicide king. Sword is raised, ready to strike, ready to pounce. So with this energy present, be alert for other people jumping on you if you make the slightest mistake, getting enraged. Likewise for yourself, notice if you get enraged by the slightest thing not going according to your expectations. So be alert for that quick trigger, that hairline response of sword raised, ready to strike, because something didn't go the way you expected it to go, or the way you assumed that it should go. Right? Remember that old statement about what happens when we make assumptions? You make an ass out of you and me. Assume, A-S-S-U-M-E. When we assume things, we make an ass out of you and me. A lot of assumptions this week. It should be like this. Like this morning, it should have been an express bus. And that was the assumption that we made based on what was said on the website. Right? It's about facing our assumptions and our expectations and choosing to respond either with anger and rage or choosing to respond with grace, with emotional intelligence. Sword raised, ready to strike, or stabbing ourselves in the head, poisoning our own minds with indecision because we're afraid to cut our pathway. This is about the leadership of the heart, and it's about cutting our pathway. All of the kings have a sword. It's the sword of truth. It's the ability to cut the true from the false and to decide that this is what is true in this situation, and the rest of that we don't need. We get to say, this is what I'm going to pay attention to. This is what's real. This is what's present. This is what's true. But the King of Hearts may be afraid to cut that path, to make that decision. Why? Because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. We want to be well liked. We want to smooth it over. Okay, yeah, we'll just smooth it over. Let that pass. But then the king gets even more enraged. And then there is a real emotional output. I'm making up words. Outboast, I wanted to say. Output. An overflow of emotional intelligence from the king. So be alert for that this week. If you bury your feelings, don't say what's really on your heart, can be this volcanic eruption of rage and anger. Likewise, in your field, I'm throwing cards around here. I just threw the King of Hearts on the floor. Likewise, in your field around you, other people may have this outburst. I think that's the word I was looking for. Outboast. No, that wasn't it, but outburst. People around you and reacting with rage, irrationally, and then trying to control. So with the king present, there's always this possibility of this micromanagement, obsessive control, trying to control all the people around you or other people in your field trying to control you. Remember, this is the background energy for all of us this week. So be aware of this people micromanaging that may happen around you and your own emotional response when somebody tries to emotionally micromanage you or when somebody else has an outburst of rage. How do you respond emotionally? So this is all in play this week. What I invite you into, the highest expression of this King of Hearts, is to speak the truth of your feelings. What am I really feeling in this moment? Well, what I just heard you say, that was really upsetting to me. Or when you had this response, I felt scared, I must say, by that. Or when I heard you say that, I felt anger come up in my heart. Right? Speaking the truth of our feelings, which is not the same as pointing a finger at someone else with our sword and poking them in the eye. We speak the truth of our own feelings. This is what's in play. This is what's at stake with the King of Hearts. And that's how we get the gold. That's the gold at the end of the rainbow. That's the stairway to heaven, if you will. That's the true Tao that can't be spoken. That's the razor's edge. To speak the truth of our feelings puts us in this perfect harmony to unlock the full blessings of our life. So this is what I invite you into. Speak the truth of your feelings and let that be the pathway that you cut. Let that be what you're creating with your words. That is the reality you're constructing by speaking the truth of your feelings, and then you lead the way into that reality. That's how that works. We put on the crown of our own authority and we lead the way into our own reality that we want to create by speaking the truth of our feelings. Or we stew in our own rage and erupt in outbursts, act like a spoiled brat, try to take our toys and go home, and then we create that reality. This is the opportunity to create your own reality. What kind of reality are you creating? What kind of relationships are you creating? What kind of emotional expression are you creating around you for all the people who interact with you? You get to decide what kind of emotional experience you want to have. Which is not to say, if you feel angry or upset, that you squelch that because you're trying to, in spiritual bypass, try to get to some other reality that you think is better. That's not what it means. You honor your feelings and you speak your feelings. Doesn't mean act out your feelings. Doesn't mean get enraged and smash dishes in the kitchen. But it does mean speak your feelings. That really angers me when I hear you say that. Or when this happened, I get enraged. I feel rage in my body when that happens. Right? You speak the truth of your feelings. And that'll be enough to get the other person's attention. You're like, I'm enraged right now. Whoa, okay then. Just take a step back. Right? That's powerful to tell someone that you're enraged, that you're angry. That is powerful truth, and it's resonating because it's true. Right? There's an authenticity that vibrates, that impacts people because it's true. It's true in the sense of it's authentic. It's truthful. It's real. So I invite you to be real with your feelings and lead the way in that reality for yourself. Why? Because that's the best reality to have. No fake bullshit. Speak what's real. And enjoy. Enjoy the game of your life. It's a game. Play it lightly. Live your life like a game. Speak the feelings that you have. Be truthful with your feelings and watch the ripple effect of that and how that carves out a more pleasant, happier reality for yourself. Have fun and enjoy your week. Please leave any comments below. Let me know how these videos help you and any requests that you have from these videos. And, that's it. Enjoy. the game of your life.